Today I'm gonna show you my favorite, maybe more than my favorite, maybe the best way to grill bratwurst in your own backyard. And I know that might be controversial, but I've really got some tips and tricks to back it up. I'm gonna show you how to turn these beautiful sausages into a backyard meal that you're gonna love, and you'll come back to this one over and over and over again. First tip for grilled brats is picking the right brats. Now, when you go to the meat counter or the grocery, you see very many options, a lot of options. Some of them, like this guy, are actually pre-cooked smoked bratwurst. So these are like the better cheddars, Johnsonville. They have beer brats, classic brats. These guys are basically hot dogs in the fact that they are ultra processed inside. They don't have a lot of texture to them, and they are pre-cooked. So these don't really require any special handling. For these ones, it's basically heat them up and go. What we're talking about today are these types of bratwurst. These are pork sausage mixed with fat, unique seasonings. A lot of times your butcher or your grocery, your deli counter will have like custom flavors of brats. Now this is what we're talking about. And these types of brats are totally raw and do require some special handling when it comes to cooking. Now we're using this for brats today, but this method also works for like Italian sausages or any uncooked sausage in the same shape. One more thing to note about these different kinds of brats is these uncooked brats generally have what's called a natural casing. That means it's an animal casing on the outside of your pork sausage, and if you cook them incorrectly, they will split, they will break open, they will burn. I'm sure you've had brats like this. What we're gonna cook them like today is gonna mitigate any of those problems and give us a really beautiful, crisp snap on the outside with tender and juicy brats in the middle.
I've got my grill set up for 2-zone cooking, which means hot coals on one side, no coals on the other. On the high heat, preheated coals side of my grill, I've got a pan with an entire onion that's been sliced pretty thin and a bottle of beer. That's gonna come up to temperature and cook those onions. On the indirect heat side go my uncooked bratwurst. With the lid on, those bratwursts are gonna cook for about 15 to 18 minutes while the onions also come up to temperature. You wanna flip them once during the cooking process and then pop that lid back on. This is gonna give us juicy brats in the middle. When you take your temperature, we're looking for about 155 degrees Fahrenheit, right on the money. Take the measurement from the end of your brats, not through the skin. Careful not to pierce that natural casing. When your brats are at temperature, it's time to do a little shiftaroo on the grill. The onions are going to the indirect heat side, and those brats are going over to the direct heat side. This is going to give us a beautiful, crispy snap on the outside of our brats. But because we cooked them slowly, we don't have to worry about all of them splitting apart. The brats go from the direct heat side into those beer and onions. They're going to absorb some of that beer while we toast our buns. The onions are going to be cooked perfectly. The brats are going to stay nice and hot in that really hot oniony beer broth until you're ready to serve.
Our brats are done. They're nice and smoky from that indirect heat cook. We've got that nice sear on the outside. They're also juicy from soaking up all the moisture in that beer broth after. My mouth is watering already. Now you can load up your brats however you like them. I like to serve them with the onions that have been cooked in the beer. I think they're so flavorful. Some of our other favorite toppings include pickle relish. We definitely like sauerkraut on our brats. Mustard is an absolute yes. And for me, I'm going with my Zesty Gold mustard barbecue sauce all the way because it gives you all that mustard tanginess, but a little extra on there too. I'm gonna build this first one for me, and then everybody else is kind of on their own. So I gotta go onions, some sauerkraut. Oh my gosh, my mouth seriously will not stop watering. And then a little bit of this Zesty Gold sauce. Now, if you've ever cooked brats before and struggled, or if you have never cooked brats before, I think you will agree with me, this is the only way you're gonna be doing brats moving forward. They're perfectly cooked. They're not dry. Texturally, they're everything you want. And the flavor is totally there. I hope you guys give this backyard grilled brat recipe a try. We'll see you next time.